Hello and welcome to World Church News. We will highlight several stories from around the world. Like the video, leave your comments and also share. I am Jessica Casson for Advent Broadcast Network. After a tragic start to the new year, the Bethsaida Seventh-day Adventist community in Zambia is closing out 2022 with new hope and possibilities as Maranatha volunteers are building a new church to replace one that was lost. In January, a fierce storm passed through the city of Kasama in northeastern Zambia. The Bethsaida Seventh-day Adventist Church had just wrapped its worship and lunch as dark clouds brewed overhead. People scattered, eager to get home before the deluge, but some were forced to take refuge inside the church building. Unfortunately, the downpour weakened the already failing structure, and the entire church collapsed, crushing the members inside. 5 people died and many more were injured. Adventist church leadership in Zambia reached out to Maranatha, asking for help in rebuilding the church, as the nearly 500 members have nowhere to worship and it is the rainy season, said Samuel Sinyangwe, president of the Adventist Church in northern Zambia. In June, Maranatha launched a $600,000 fundraising effort to build a large church complex that will include seating for 500, 6 Sabbath school classrooms, bathrooms, and a well. More than 900 people gave to the effort, allowing Maranatha to reach the goal. In November, 19 volunteers headed to Zambia to start construction at Bethsaida. After a grueling, 15-hour bus ride that lasted 2 days, the team arrived on site and jumped into action. Halfway through the project, they have already completed blocking 2 classrooms and started work on another set of rooms in the actual church.
Global Center for Adventist Muslim Relations to open chapter in Thailand. Although there is just 0.2% of the Muslim population in Thailand, Asia Pacific International University, AEU, a university run by the Adventist Church in Muak Lek, Saraburi, Thailand, enrolls a large number of students from Southeast Asia, where there are 25% of the Muslims population. AEU plans to have a chapter of the Global Center for Adventist Muslim Relations, AMR, to better comprehend Islamic ideas, culture, and customs. The decision to start an AMR chapter was made after a colloquium held over 2 days in November 2022 by the university's Faculty of Religious Studies, FRS. The colloquium's guest speakers included Abner Dizan, Director for Muslims and Secular Postmodern Ministries for the Southern Asia Pacific ISIAN, SSD, and Petras Bahadur, Director of the Global Center for Adventist Muslim Relations from the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists.
In Malaysia, Adventist motorcyclists share faith through a 3-day caravan. The Adventist Church planned a 3-day motorcycle convoy in Sabah, Malaysia, and it took place from October 28 to October 30. It traveled 500 kilometers across the Tambunan, Keningau, Tenom, Sepatang, and Papar districts. More than 450,000 people reside in these 5 areas, and more than 1,000 Adventists are among them. This inspired the Sabah Church to launch a special effort for communicating faith that included the NDRIEL, the publishing ministries, the health ministries, and Adventist community services. With the theme, Reach the Unreachable, and Every Ride is a Mission. Adventist riders joined this ride to conduct various services, including distributing the Missionary Book of the Year, community service, food distribution, and health screening. Do specific evangelistic work specified to them by the district pastor as a challenge to the rider when they reached a certain checkpoint of the ride.
Sabbath services were interrupted at Johannesburg Central SDA Church over the weekend by a gang of 6 armed men who held the congregation hostage, robbing members of cash and other valuables. The moment it began was captured on the church's livestream video where the preacher realizes what is happening, stops the sermon, and sits down, most likely being instructed by one of the gang members. No violence is shown. According to News 24, police spokesperson Colonel Noxolo Kwiza reported that they threatened the churchgoers with firearms. No one was injured and there are no arrests yet. The suspects later walked out of the church. Police are still searching for the armed suspects. Acting Gauteng Provincial Commissioner Major General Tommy Mthombeni condemned the attack on the church, saying, "Police will do everything to bring the perpetrators to book. Church members should be allowed to do their business peacefully." The Facebook page for Johannesburg Central SDA had a post after the incident that read, "Thank God no one was hurt but people were left traumatized." Romans chapter 12 verses 19 to 21, KJV, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, Vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Therefore if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head." A later Facebook post offered counseling services to congregants, along with prayer and support, encouraging members to support each other and assuring them that this too will pass. Adventist health initiatives foster partnerships with the community in Vietnam. Numerous health initiatives have been started in recent years to spread diverse holistic lifestyle approaches and guidance on enhancing the quality of health in various Vietnamese communities. The Adventist communities in this area have focused on building relationships with the community through this medium. A culmination of health programs occurred at the Forward Venture Community Center, UCI, in Hanoi, Vietnam, on November 18 to 19, 2022. The Forward Venture Community Center was inaugurated in 2018 and is a 7-story building that houses a bookstore, a health food store, a foreign language school, a music school, a health center, ADRA Vietnam headquarters, and meeting halls for 2 congregations. 6 literature evangelists were dispatched to the city ahead of the meeting to lay the groundwork and make the required arrangements. These people ran food programs, fun runs, art and soccer club meetings, and culinary lessons. Before the meeting, a fun run was facilitated in Ho Chi Minh, and mental health training was organized in Vung Tau. Vietnam is one of 14 countries in the Southern Asia-Pacific Division. Vietnam Adventist Mission is home to more than 14,000 Adventist members in 19 churches in 169 companies. Through the Voy Expand initiative, the Southern Asia-Pacific Division, SSD, Adventist Youth Ministries equips 1,215 Voice of Youth, VOY, teams with 32,326 young people to reach out to communities for Jesus. Exponential advancement via nurturing and discipleship, also known as Voy Expand, has led to the baptism of 23,154 new believers from Bangladesh, Pakistan, the Philippines, Myanmar, Malaysia, and the Southeastern Union. In 2021, the young people were ignited. In 2022, the Holy Spirit increased their involvement in local churches. This was reported by Edward Rodriguez, SSD Communication Department. Adventist pastor in Jamaica makes history by completing medical degree. Not satisfied with only serving in the Seventh-day Adventist Church through preaching, teaching, and counseling in his home country of Jamaica, Kemar Douglas recently completed a medical degree. After 4 years of study, Douglas is now a medical intern at the May Penn Hospital, after graduating from the Caribbean School of Medical Sciences in Kingston, Jamaica, on October 30, 2022, with honors, and also as a recipient of the Chancellor's Award for Academics and Leadership. Douglas, 43, completed his medical degree while being the pastor of a 5-church district with 2,100 members. "The balancing wasn't easy," Douglas said. "I had pledged my life to God and the gospel ministry, and to take care of my family, and I had to make sure none suffered, even if I couldn't do everything. It was all about relying on God, his wife, and church elders to help out the ministry," he added. The desire to be a medical doctor had always been in the back of his mind, but he has also felt a call to pastoral ministry, Douglas said. But what finally led him to pursue medicine was a deep conviction from the Lord that it was time. "At my graduation from the Doctor of Ministry degree, I felt that I had done all that the Lord had required of me academically to serve in his cause in church," Douglas said. But in greeting persons after the ceremony, one of my fellow ministerial graduates who knew my passion for health and wellness said it was now time to pursue medicine. Others also encouraged him to pursue a medical degree. Douglas is the senior pastor of the Portmore Seventh-day Adventist Church in St. Catherine, the largest Seventh-day Adventist church in Jamaica. He previously served as director in the conference departments of Communication and Public Affairs in Religious Liberty. Douglas has been serving in the Seventh-day Adventist Church for more than 21 years. GC's recommendation to transfer 3 administrative regions to Northern Asia Pacific. 3 administrative regions in the Southern Asia Pacific region, the Bangladesh Union Mission, the Pakistan Union Section, and the Sri Lanka Attached Mission, received a recent recommendation from the General Conference to the Southern Asia Pacific Division Executive Committee to report to their new mother organization, the Northern Asia Pacific Division. The proposal has received support and will be submitted to the General Conference Executive Committee for approval and final action during its autumn meeting in 2023. More consideration, research, and survey will be carried out to make trustworthy and dependable decisions that support this trend. To express the full support of the General Conference's plans to realign the Pakistan Union Section, Bangladesh Union Mission, and Sri Lanka Attached Mission with the Northern Asia Pacific Division. It was a difficult decision to make, but this movement is realized to benefit the mission of the Church, SSD President Roger Kaderma said. The inclusion of 4 countries in the NSD was suggested: Bangladesh and Pakistan, which have a large Muslim population, Sri Lanka, with a majority of its citizens who are Buddhists, and Nepal, which is part of the Southern Asia Division, SUD. Alignment of territories has proven to be beneficial and has made the mission of the work prosper, former SSD Treasurer Max Lange said as he recalled the story of the old Far Eastern Division and how the mission has grown since it evolved into the NSD and SSD. The 4 church regions have about 51,000 Adventist church members. Additionally, there are numerous primary and secondary schools, publishing companies, and hospitals run by the church in these areas. We are trying to make a balance between the divisions, GC Executive Secretary Erton Kohler said. Geographically, it can be challenging for the NSD, but the reorganization can create a balance that will provide equal benefits and challenges for our divisions. A fire has caused significant damage to Kauma Adventist High School in Kiribati. Tekamau Ribabati, school principal, awoke about 12:45 a.m. in early November after hearing a loud intermittent crackling noise. Looking outside towards the noise, he saw a fire had erupted at the school. Soon after, he arrived on site where a large number of people, including students and teachers, had already gathered and were frantically trying to put out the flames using buckets filled with water from local wells. The fire was eventually extinguished, but not before it had destroyed a number of offices and classrooms, including computer and science laboratories. Printers, computers, tables, chairs, textbooks, and other equipment were lost. However, the school library was saved. Kauma Adventist High School is the main Seventh-day Adventist educational institution in Kiribati. The coeducational high school offers education from junior level to Form 7, drawing its students from across the Kiribati group of islands. It currently has an enrollment of almost 500 students and a teaching staff of 34, plus 13 support staff. Mealy Vihola, Trans-Pacific Union Mission Education Director, has asked church members to keep the principal, teachers, and students in their prayers. Reported by Tracy Bridkett, Communication Director, South Pacific Division. Mini Chef Cooking Course educates children about food. A recent Mini Chef course provided 2 to 12-year-olds in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, with several weeks of training in cooking. The initiative, launched in September 2022, resulted from a partnership between a child development project of the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, ADRA, and the UNI-TFC Nutrition Program. According to project coordinator Lucian Rodriguez, it was a wonderful initiative to implement, and something that showed the synergy of collaboration. This dream came true thanks to UniFTC assistance. Adra couldn't have done it alone. It's a chain of good works, she said. The goal of the initiative was to awaken the pleasure of cooking in children, organizers said, exploring a wholesome use of food according to the Brazilian Food Guide. Using basic, simple techniques, using the creativity of children to practice and taste numerous recipes that they made, the course provided fun and uncomplicated learning in the kitchen through classes offered by students of the nutrition course, organizers explained. According to Anne Caroline Casses, nutritionist and professor at the UniFTC network, this dream initiative became a great learning experience. The goal of the Mini Chef cooking course is to foster growth in children. Growth results from children having contact with food and having food as a friend. Handling food is a very good way to start, she said. Casses explained that facilitators showed various aspects of food to the children, something that includes not only ingesting nutrients and getting healthy, but also considering food's social importance. That marks the end of our headlines tonight. Thank you for staying tuned to the end. Don't forget to like and share the video. I have been your host for tonight, Jessica Casson. Have a nice week. May the Lord bless you abundantly.